Dear viewers, welcome to finite element analysis, unit 2, one-dimensional problem, finite element analysis, beam element, example problem number 2. For the beam and loading shown in the figure, determine the slope at nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. The Young's modulus is given is 200 gigapascal. Moment of inertia is 4 into 10 power 6 mm4. The length of the span is, first element is given 1 meter. The second element also will be 1 meter. The beam is one end is fixed. Then element 2 is fixed with roller support. Then uniform distributed load is acting at element 2, that nodal point 2, nodal point 3, the span length of 1 meter. The UDL is 12 kilonewton per meter.
Dear viewers, welcome to finite element analysis. The next example problem of beam element, problem number 2. For the beam and loading shown in the figure, determine the slope at nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. The beam is, total span is 2 meter. So one end is fixed. Then it is roller support is given nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. Then UDL, uniform distributed load is acting. Uniform distributed load acting at nodal point 2 and nodal point 2. So throughout the span 1 meter, uniform load is acting on the beam. So first we have to analyze the unit. First, conversion the unit throughout the in meter unit. So what are the given data is given is, one is Young's modulus is given 200 gigapascal. 200 gigapascal is 200 into 10 power 9 pascal. The 1 pascal is Newton per meter square. Then next moment of inertia is given is 4 into 10 power 6 millimeter mm4. So 4 into 10 power 6, 10 power minus 3 power 4, conversion to m4. So 3 into 4 12, so minus 12 plus 6, you are getting a minus 6. So 4 into 10 power minus 6 into 4 m4. Then uniform distributed load is given is 12 kilonewton meter. So per meter. So 12 into 10 power 3 Newton meters. The beam is have 1 meter span is nodal load is acting. Another 2 to 3 is uniform distributed load is acting. Based on the discrimination approach, we have to divide into a 2 element. FEA discrimination model is this node. Then you have to give the numbers. Node 1, node 2, node 3, then element 1 and element 2. So already we derived the finite element equation, stiffness matrix equation for beam element is EI divided by L cube. This material rigidity properties. Then 4 cross 4 matrix, 12 6L minus 12 6L 6L 4L square minus 6L 2L square minus 12 minus 6L 12 minus 6L 6L 2L square minus 6L 4L square. This is the stiffness matrix for beam element. Then normally the system of equation is K U displacement vectors into force vector. Here is displacement vector is each nodal point we are considering the shear force, bending moment, slope, then deflection. So V1 will be indicate the slope or V1 will indicate the deflection at nodal point 1. The theta 1 will be indicate the slope or rotation of nodal point 1. So V2 will be indicate the deflection at nodal point 2. Theta 2 will be indicate the slope or rotation at nodal point 2. Then force F1, then moment at nodal point 1. F2 is force is in y direction at nodal point 2. Then moment at nodal point 2. So considering the finite element equation for beam element, the next step we have to calculate the element equation for element 1. The next step is again you have to calculate for the stiffness matrix for element equation for element 2. So before that we have to analyze the what are the boundary condition have in this given problem. So first we have to consider this two element, three nodal nodes. So node 1 will be acting that the one end is fixed. So deflection equal to 0, that is y direction. Then slope also will be 0. Then considering the nodal point 2, deflection 0, but the support is given roller support. So slope will be acting at nodal point will be having that available at nodal point 2. Then similarly that nodal point 3, it is roller support, deflection 0 in y direction. That slope we have to calculate. Slope will be had at the nodal point 3. So first we have to consider the element 1, node 1 and 2, element 1. Then indicate that force at nodal point 1, deflection at y direction, nodal point 1, then moment, then corresponding angle of slope is theta 1. Similarly, F2, B2, M2, theta 2 is for nodal point 2. First we have to form a element equation for beam element 1. For element 1. So considering the Young's modulus and the moment of inertia and length will be L1 is 1 meter, L2 also 1 meter. So formulate the element equation for element 1. So E1, that is Young's modulus 200 into 10 power 9. Then moment of inertia is given 4 into 10 power minus 6. 4 into 10 power minus 6 divided by L cube. L cube is 1 power cube. Then the L is 1. So substitute the L inside the flow graph matrix. 12, 6 into 1, 6 minus 12, 6 into 1, 6. So I am substituting that L inside the flow graph matrix. Then I am writing the constant value in the matrix. That is 12, 6 into 1, 6. Then minus 12, 6L, 6L, 6 into 1, 6, then 6 12 minus 6, 12 minus 6. Similarly, 6, 2 minus 6, 4. So next we have to give the global number for swiftness matrix for element 1. So I am giving for element 1 is each nodal point will be having a 1 and 2 will be have two displacement. One is deflection, one is another one is slope. So 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, then here also I will be indicated 3, 4, 5, 6. So each nodal point have one displacement, one slope will be have. So 3 nodal point will be have 3 into 2, 6. So we have to calculate this 6 cross 6 matrix. Only 2 unknown. We have to determine that what is the unknown will be have. That is we have to determine the theta 2 and theta 3 slope. We have to determine that is in the given problem asking to determine the slope at nodal point 2 and the slope at nodal point 3 we have to determine. So we have to consider the nodal point 1 and 2. So I am giving a global number is 1, 2. Using another color. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then write down the displacement vectors. Displacement vector at deflection at nodal point 1, slope at nodal point 1, v2, theta 2. Then so F1, then M1, F2, M2. For element 1, supply consider that boundary condition, then V1 is 0. Theta 1, 0. Then V2 is 0. Then we have to calculate the theta. For considering the element 1, no external load is acting, so no force will be acting at element 1. So this is 0, moment will be 0. Considering the element 1. Okay. Similarly, we have to calculate that element 2. We have to simplify this. Before that, 200 into 10 power 9 into 4 into 10 power minus 6, then L cube 1, that is 1. We are obtaining that into 10 power 5. So for element 2, Young's modulus is same, I value will be same, then L also will be same length 1 meter. So the nodal point will be, consider the element 2, then force 2, deflection 2 at y direction, then m2 moment at nodal point 2, then so at nodal point 2 considering the element 2, then at nodal point 3 force, then slope at nodal point 3, then moment 3 and slope or rotation at nodal point 3. So the number is giving that each nodal point will be having a slope 1 and force will be have. So 3, 4 and 5, 6 I am giving the global numbers. So the singular value we are going to get, that is 200 into 10 power 9 into 4 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 1 cube. Same matrix, the length will be same, yellow 1 meter. So you can rewrite this as 4 cross matrix. Here 12, 6 minus 12, 6, 6, 4 minus 6, 2 minus 12 minus 6, 12 minus 6, 6, 2 minus 6, then 4. So we have to give the number degree of displacement corresponding degree of freedom numbers, that is 3, 4, then 5, 6. Then row and column we have to indicate similar 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then next we have to write down the displacement vector. Displacement vector is, here is V2, theta 2, V3, theta 3, then F2, M2, F3, M3. Considering the element 2, so what is the boundary condition? That is V2 is 0, theta 2 we have to determine, then consider the nodal point 3. Nodal point 3 actually nodal point 2 and nodal point 3 will be having the roller support. That's why the deflection will be 0 in y direction, value slope will be have at nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. So V3 also 0. We have to determine the slope or rotation at nodal point 3. Then what is the, due to the uniform distributed load condition case, nodal point 2 will be having a shear force and bending moment will be have both nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. You are studying detailing strength of material. So based on your strength of material, based on this load condition, so you have to recall your direct formula. We have to calculate the shear force and bending moment. So you have to consider that the uniform distributed load is acting at nodal point and nodal 12 into 10 power 3 Newton meters. So first recall from your standard material subject. Shear force first we have to calculate at normal point 2, that is F to Y minus WL divided by 2 minus W will be have 12 into 10 power 3 into length is 1 divided by 2. Using your calculator, calculate the shear force at nodal point 2. 12 into 10 power 3 divided by 2. So we are getting minus 6000 Newton. So at nodal point 3 also shear force, same formula, minus WL divided by 2. So minus 6000 Newton. Then bending moment at nodal point 2, that is minus WL square divided by 12 minus 12 into 10 power 3 into L square divided by 12. So minus 12 into 10 power 3 into 1 square divided by 12. We are getting minus 1000. That is moment is Newton meter. Similarly, this is positive 1000 Newton meter. So this is the only that F2 we have to substitute that for element 2 we have to place the F2 is minus 600 Newton. Moment is minus 1000. Then F3 minus 6000. N3 is plus 1000. The next step, so we are determining the element equation for element 1 and element 2. Then next step we have to formulate the system of equation. We have to making a global stiffness matrix. Already we know that boundary condition, apply the boundary condition. After elimination approach, we have to reduce the stiffness matrix. Then we can determine the slope at nodal point 2 and nodal point 3. The standard common API procedure, the next step we have to making a global stiffness matrix. That is, we have stiffness matrix A1 for element 1, stiffness matrix for element 2 is A2. We have to formulate a global stiffness matrix, that is KG. So before that we are going to make each nodal point will be have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you have to write down the number initially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and row and column we have to write down the numbers. That don't forget to write down the rewriting during the assembly of your system of equation. The constant value you have to rewrite 8 into 10 power 5 6, 4 minus 6, 2 minus 12 minus 6, 12 minus 6, that is plus 6, 2 minus 6, 4. So this is the 1, this is the 2. Two, 3, 4. Then 5 and 6 will be here. So next consider the assemble the K2 value. This is the whole value is A1, K2 strictness matrix for element 2. So element 1 is connected with nodal point 1 and 2. Element 2 is connected with node 2 and 3. Element 1, then element 2. The intersection actually node 1 and node 2 will be connected with 3 and 4. So carefully rewriting the stiffness matrix, fourth class matrix value corresponding row and column we have. So considering a 3, so plus 12 will come here, then plus 6, then minus 12 and 6. Then consider the 4 plus 6, then plus 4, then minus 6, then 2. Similarly, you have the remaining value you can rewrite corresponding that from the third column you have write down, that is minus 12 minus 6, 12 minus 6, then 6, 2 minus 6, 4. Okay, remaining thing is you can, this element is not connected in the particular node, so you can put the 0 value. 0. Next we have to write down the form a global displacement vectors So considering the element 1, V1 is 0, theta 1 also 0, V2 also 0, theta 2 we have to calculate. And V3 is 0, theta 3, that is slope at nodal point 2 and slope at nodal point 3 we have to determine. Then apply the slope and force vectors. So for considering the element 1, F1 and M1 is 0. So F2 is 6000. M2 minus 1000 minus 6000 then plus 1000. So we have a global force vector. Next we have to consider the boundary condition based on the position elimination approach. So corresponding row and column we can eliminate based on your support displacement function, that is first row, first column we can eliminate. It is mainly I will be using another color. So similarly, second row and second column we can eliminate. Then similarly, the third row and third column we can eliminate. Then fourth one is we have to determine the slope at 1.2. So fifth row and column we can eliminate by FA elimination approach. So another thing is remaining thing is we have to consider the fourth column and the sixth column and we have to reduce the stiffness matrix. So actually we have to consider the 4 plus 4 8, then 2, then 2, then 4, then theta 2 and theta 3. So the reducing the matrix is I think 8. The constant value is 8 into 10 power 5 into 8 2 2 4 theta 2 theta 3, then minus 1000 plus 1000. So formulate the two equation. So 8 into 10 power 5, 8 into theta 2, 2 into theta 3 equal to minus 1000. Equation number 1. Then 2 into theta 2, that 8 into 10 power 5, 2 into theta 2 plus 4 into theta 3 plus 1000. This is equation number 2. Using our calculator or Gaussian elimination approach, we can determine what is the slope at nodal point 1 and 2. We have to calculate the theta 2 and then theta 3. Using your calculator, go to the equation mode. Indicate the 8 into 10 power 5 power 5 into 8, then similarly 8 into 10 power 5 into 2, 8 into 10 power 5 into 2, then substitute that all the numerical value is 1000 minus 1000. Similarly, second column is center. You are obtaining the value is theta 2 is minus 2.679 10 power minus 4 minus 2.679 into 10 power minus 4, the unit is radian. Similarly, this theta 2 value is 4.464, that is positive 4.464 into 10 power minus 4 radian. You have obtained the final result value is theta. To slope or rotation at nodal point 2 is minus 2.679 into 10 power minus 4 radian. Theta 3 is that plus 4.464 into 10 power minus 4 radian.